In a dramatic turn of events, Lil Durk's legal team has crafted an intricate bail package aimed at securing his release from jail, sparking intense reactions in the courtroom. Prosecutors, reportedly caught off guard, were described as reeling. When confronted with the robust proposal, which is set to be reviewed by a judge in Los Angeles on May 8th, the bail package is a comprehensive effort to demonstrate that Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, poses no flight risk and should be granted bond. It includes $1 million in cash, $900,000 in real estate equity, a $150,000 contribution from an associate, round-the-clock armed security, and electronic monitoring. This formidable package is designed to underscore Durk's ties to the community and his commitment to complying with court conditions. The prosecution, in response, has scrambled to bolster their case against Durk's release by introducing new evidence, a move that has drawn criticism for its reliance on questionable material. They have pointed to lyrics from Durk's 2022 song Rumors, featuring Gucci Mane, as well as an unreleased track recovered from his phone following his arrest. The unreleased song contains the lines, "I want the one that I paid for. We hit your homie," which prosecutors allege point to a history of Durk commissioning violent acts. However, legal experts and Durk's defense team argue that this evidence is flimsy, drawing parallels to other high-profile cases where rap lyrics were used unsuccessfully to incriminate artists. A notable example is the YSL Rayco trial involving Young Thug in Atlanta. Despite prosecutors' heavy reliance on Thug's lyrics, the case resulted in a conviction with time served, allowing Thug to walk free, while most co-defendants avoided conviction. Legal analysts have described that prosecution as a failure, raising questions about the validity of using artistic expression as evidence of criminal intent. Durk's attorneys are preparing a bold counter-strategy for the May 8th hearing, leaning heavily on a First Amendment argument. They contend that Durk's lyrics are protected speech, an expression of his artistic creativity, rather than literal confessions of criminal activity. This argument is rooted in the broader cultural debate about the misinterpretation of rap music by law enforcement and prosecutors. Critics argue that hip-hop, often scrutinized for its vivid storytelling, is unfairly targeted compared to other genres like country or pop, which may also depict violence or controversial themes without facing similar legal repercussions. Durk's legal team plans to highlight this disparity, asserting that using rap lyrics as evidence violates Durk's constitutional rights. They emphasized that the song Rumors was released months before the incidents in question, undermining the prosecution's timeline and suggesting a lack of direct correlation between the lyrics and alleged crimes. Adding to the complexity, Durk's attorneys have uncovered a critical flaw in the prosecution's evidence. Some of the material presented against him includes fan-made edits rather than original recordings. Specifically, the prosecution referenced a version of Durk's song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, which features a news clip overlay related to a crime, implying Durk's involvement. However, Durk's team has demonstrated that this version is a fan edit, not the original track, which was recorded 7 months before the incident in question. This revelation has embarrassed the prosecution and bolstered the defense's case, as it calls into question the reliability of the evidence. The defense has formally argued that the government is attempting to hold Durk accountable for content created by unaffiliated third parties, such as YouTubers and Instagram users, further weakening the prosecution's position. The defense has also challenged the prosecution's use of lyrics from a song by Babyface Ray, which features Durk titled Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy. The prosecution claims the lyrics reference a specific crime, but Durk's team has provided evidence that the song predates the event, rendering the connection invalid. This pattern of prosecutorial overreach mirrors tactics seen in other cases, where law enforcement has been accused of misunderstanding hip-hop culture. Legal commentators have noted that prosecutors often lack the cultural context to interpret rap lyrics accurately, leading to misrepresentations in court. For instance, phrases that may seem incriminating to an outsider could carry different meanings within the hip-hop community, a nuance that prosecutors frequently overlook. Beyond the courtroom, Durk's personal life has added another layer of complexity to his case. Reports surfaced that his wife, India Royale, was allegedly seen at a party with her hand on another man's leg, prompting speculation of infidelity. The incident, captured in screenshots and shared by one of India's friends, went viral, drawing commentary from figures like Tekashi 6ix9ine and DJ Academics. India responded dismissively, questioning the motives of those spreading the gossip and highlighting a shift in societal norms around privacy and masculinity. While this scandal has no direct bearing on Durk's legal proceedings, it has intensified public scrutiny of his personal life at a critical juncture. Meanwhile, Durk's legal team has strategically released content showcasing his positive influence to sway public and judicial opinion. A clip of Durk advising financial restraint, urging fans not to buy luxury items like Maybachs unless they can afford multiple, has been widely circulated. Fans and analysts speculate that this is part of a deliberate effort to portray Durk as a responsible, community-oriented figure, countering the prosecution's narrative of him as a dangerous criminal. This tactic aligns with the broader bail package, which emphasizes Durk's deep ties to his community and his potential for positive impact if released. However, a troubling development has emerged from within the jail where Durk is being held. Reports indicate that Durk was attacked in his cell block at the LA County Jail, raising concerns about his safety. While details about his condition remain private, his legal team is poised to argue that the jail has failed to protect him, potentially justifying a change in detention facilities or strengthening the case for his release on bond. Fans have speculated about the motives behind the attack, noting that interviews by Quando Rondo and Lil Tim, both linked to rival factions, coincided with the incident. These interviews, in which both expressed regret over past conflicts, have fueled theories that the attack was orchestrated to prevent Durk's release or to deflect attention from other parties. Kanye West, among others, reportedly reached out to check on Durk, highlighting the rapper's broad network of support. The prosecution, meanwhile, appears to be intensifying its efforts to keep Durk detained by leveraging testimony from his associates. In a recent gang takedown targeting the Rolling 60s, 3 individuals, Big U, Brick Baby, and Loose Cannon, were arrested. Legal sources suspect that Brick Baby, who has a history of cooperating with authorities, may be pressured to provide incriminating information about Durk. Years ago, Brick Baby implicated Durk in a live stream, referencing actions allegedly taken in retaliation for the death of King Von. More recently, the prosecution has cited Brick Baby's statements about providing Quando Rondo's location to Durk, tying them to lyrics from Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy. These comments, combined with Brick Baby's current legal troubles, raise concerns that he may be coerced into testifying against Durk to secure leniency. The prosecution's reliance on such testimony and lyrical evidence has drawn sharp criticism from legal observers who argue that it reflects a broader pattern of targeting hip-hop artists. DJ Academics, commenting on the case, suggested that Durk's music inadvertently provides a roadmap of his life and conflicts, with album titles and songs like Almost Healed reflecting personal losses and retaliatory actions. While this interpretation may resonate with fans, it underscores the prosecution's strategy of framing Durk's art as a literal confession, a tactic that has repeatedly faced pushback in court. As the May 8th hearing approaches, Durk's legal team is confident that their bail package, combined with the First Amendment argument and the discrediting of the prosecution's evidence, will secure his release. The fan-made edit debacle, the jail attack, and the questionable use of lyrics have painted the prosecution as unprepared and overly reliant on shaky evidence. Moreover, the cultural misunderstanding of hip-hop continues to undermine their case, as seen in past trials like Young Thug's. Durk's attorneys are poised to argue that the prosecution's tactics not only violate his constitutional rights, but also fail to meet the evidentiary standard required to justify his continued detention. The outcome of the hearing will hinge on the judge's interpretation of these complex issues, from the validity of lyrical evidence to the safety concerns raised by the jail attack. For Durk's supporters, the case is a test of whether the legal system can fairly assess the intersection of art, culture, and criminality. If successful, Durk's release could set a precedent for how rap lyrics are treated in court, reinforcing the protections afforded by the First Amendment. For now, the rapper's fate rests on the strength of his legal team's strategy and the hope that the judge will see beyond the prosecution's narrative to the broader context of his life and work.